this anvil I traded. It's kind of interesting. My neighbor we used to have a hired man that worked at our farm, but he moved down to the other farm after my brothers got older and we could help our dad more, and he didn't need a hired man anymore. So the hired man we did have went down to live at our neighbor's. So the neighbor that hired him built a little building for him to live in and bought him a refrigerator and stove and everything else. After the hired man passed away down there, the neighbor asked me, he says, Art, he said, do you want this refrigerator? I said, because I was working at a church and I needed a refrigerator to put people's volunteers food in over the summertime when they were mowing lawn and whatever. So I said, yeah, I do that. I said, what do you want for it? He said, $40. I said, okay. So I gave him $40 and took the refrigerator and cleaned it out. It was in the garage area for, probably 2-3 years. And finally one day the man that used to repair our lawnmowers came there and saw that refrigerator in my garage because he was dropping off a mower or picking it up or whatever. He said, Art, he said, you want to sell that refrigerator? I said, no, not really, because I said, my guys come and volunteers and they put their food in there and stuff. In the summertime, I said, it keeps it cold. And it worked really well. But it was, again, probably 15 years old. And so anyway, he said, anytime you want to sell it, he said, let me know. He said, I'd be interested in that. I said, okay. So about 2 weeks later or so, I go into his shop to get something, purchase something for the lawn, to take care of the cemetery, and I see this anvil sitting on the floor in his shop. And I said, so-and-so, I said to him, I said, what are you going to do with the anvil? Where'd you get that? He says, oh, he said, a man traded that for a lawnmower. I said, did he really? I said, would you be interested in selling it? Yeah, he said, I would. He said, I'll tell you what, better yet, he says, I'll trade you this anvil for that refrigerator. I said, okay. I said, that'll work. I said, I could do that. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with it for a refrigerator though, but I said, I'd do that. So I no sooner got back to the church where I worked and was working. I wasn't there probably 5 minutes and I see his truck coming in. And on the back of the truck was this anvil. And he said, I want my refrigerator. I said, okay. So he said, I came to get my refrigerator. I said, okay. So he dropped off the anvil, took the refrigerator, and I took the anvil. And I made shoes with it for my horses to go to the farm show for probably 2 years when I was up there. So that's the story behind that. I got that for traded that for a $40 refrigerator. And I still have that. And about 4 or 5, 6 years ago, I saw the man that had the refrigerator in a restaurant. And I said to him, do you still have my refrigerator? He said, heck no. He said, I sold that a long time ago at my sale because I knew he sold his business out and his lawnmower business. He said, do you still have my anvil? I said, I do. He said, I'd like to have that back. I said, I bet you would. But I said, you're not going to get it back. But I said, I still have that anvil and it's still in good condition. Pound is a 20 down below here. 20 means 200. 4 would be a 400.